Hey, how are we guys? Here with Enzo LaRocca, going to be joining today and just have a bit of a chat together about self-mastery, mastering our mindsets. And it's just basically something that me and Enzo chat about pretty regularly when we catch up. Yeah, hence we thought we'd chuck on the video and just basically have an open discussion about where we're at, what we're up to, what we've noticed in the people around us, what we're trying to achieve and attain in our own space. And I'm sure whatever comes up will be of value to you guys as well. But I'm pretty keen to get Enzo up here and have a good chat. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, flick them in the comments below. If you're watching the replay, let us know. And still, if you've got comments, hit me up or put the comments below and we'll get back to you as well. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's I guess it can be so foundational when it comes to personal development and being yourself and growing and learning when it comes to self mastery and mastering your mindset. But then it can also be extremely intricate and full of all sorts of really deep lessons, deep learnings, and yeah, like I said, it can just be really intricate. So I'm interested to see where we go. We haven't really planned anything per se, more so just off the cuff. We know what we chat about on a regular basis and what comes up. So Enzo's full of anecdotes and good wisdom, and I just like to play it as it comes. So good to see you guys. Ethan, Philip, Tanya, lovely to see you guys. Hey, Bowie Han, I hope I'm saying that right. Charlene, Jarvis, good to see you guys. I'm up in Karoi at the moment in the Sunshine Coast, and Enzo is calling in from New York. I believe he'll be calling in from New York as well. So I think he's just getting his headphones sorted, and then when he's got them, he'll jump on and we'll get going. All right, there he is. Un momento. Un momento. I did a 24-kilometer walk today. I'm so knackered. All right, let me just invite Enzo, which I think I already did, but just to be sure. There we go. PH Patel, hello. Emma, hello. So sorry, just give us a moment, guys, while we get old mate LaRocca on the old tube, and we'll get started. But what can I start with respect to self-mastery and mastering mindset? I actually picked up a lot of my old notebooks from my parents' place a few weeks ago, and like old notebooks, and it's interesting to look back on them and see actually how long I've really been into just the personal development space, and some of the lessons I learned so long ago that I'm still day to day implementing and practicing and catch myself using on a daily basis. And I thought that was, yeah, it was pretty cool. I think keeping the notes of yesteryear and being able to see where we've come from, how we've grown. Oh, here we go. Oh my man. Okay. Again, if you guys have any questions, either to prompt us or anything that you specifically would like to know or want assistance with, or any challenges that are coming up, hit us up and we will respond to them as well. There he comes. And just let me know if you can hear us. I've got pretty poor internet here, so just let me know if that becomes too much of an issue as well.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
There you go.
Hey, bro, how are you?
I'm blinded by sun. It's actually sunny over here for once.
Blinded by sunlight. It's actually sunny over here for once.
I'm blinded by your guns.
Can't get enough
bro.
of this.
I love it when you get them out.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Can you hear me? Do you hear like a little bit of an echo?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Can you hear me? Do you hear like a little bit of an echo?
Oh,
yeah.
Can you hear yourself?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, can you still hear the echo?
Technical Facebook.
Talk.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I am good.
No more echo?
No echo. All good. All good, man. Thanks for calling me.
Cool.
7 a.m. God, nice and early today. Yeah, man. How's everything over there?
Yeah, I'm just winding down, dude. I had a like a 24 kilometer walk I went on today, a big hike. So yeah, I'm ready to wind down and crash out. My legs are knackered. I don't think I've walked that long since I used to walk to school back in the
It's
day.
so funny. You guys say kilometers. I'm still like in miles and feet, man. Different.
Yeah, you got to jump ship. So I'm glad that it is your morning, actually, because you're a bit of a beast when it comes to sort of morning routines and just keeping the high quality activities and habits going for yourself and consistently as well. And you've also implemented a few new ones recently. But you want to just share a little bit about what your own morning routine is, where that comes from, and essentially what you're where you're trying to take it as well. Hey, Charlotte. Hey, guys. Anika.
Yeah, I get up in the morning, and to be quite honest with you, you're coming off of a long week or a long day the night before, maybe long night the night before, and you're not going to be fully charmed up and primed, ready to go. And when I get up and I rush, just to get ready and go out the door, things usually are haywire. So I always feel like you owe it to yourself to reset yourself every morning. And if that means getting up an hour before, you should be getting up an hour before. So what I started doing is I started getting up around 3:30, 4 in the morning. And I started doing guided meditation, believe it or not. And guided meditation is just for people that just never meditated before. It teaches you really how to focus on your breathing, how to just let your air just exist, focusing on the inhale to the exhale, things of that nature. Teaches you kind of just to be aware of your thoughts in your mind, and no matter what they are that day, maybe they're happy, they're sad, maybe they're controlled, maybe they're loud, maybe they're quiet, maybe they're chaotic, but it just teaches you kind of in a way to calm your mind and your body down and to reset. Everything's okay. So I do about 10 to 20 minutes of that a day, and I got to say it's profound in what it can actually do for you, just let alone meditation. So it kind of primes me up, and then I head off to the gym. I do about an hour of training. I knock that out of the way, and then once I'm done with that, then I return home and I go, all right, let's start the day. And that's usually a big part of how my day starts. To be honest with you, owe it to yourself to be that way.
And how do you find the difference between the days that you actually get up and follow that routine compared to the days that maybe you're sleeping a little bit or you're a bit rushed or you just can't be fucked or whatever happens? Like what do you find the difference in the outcome of your actual day is with the days that you do it compared to the days that you don't?
So the days that I don't do it, I feel completely off. I feel like I did myself a disservice. It's like food regulates your mood. If you go out the night before and you're pounding drinks and you're drinking liquor and everything like that, you probably are going to have a hangover the next day. Your body's going to be dealing with that and coping with that. So it's like if you take, your mental wellness out of there, your mindset, your meditation, your fitness routine, your endorphins are not up anymore. When you do go out there without that, you are going to feel a little bit off. So I tell myself, I go, I don't like the way that this feels. Like I really want to feel in charge of my mind and my life and everything. And it's a damn small sacrifice. So I feel off when I don't do it. So therefore I make sure I get it done. And when you get those days where everything is just getting away, like some people will have kids, some people may have overslept, like just things happen. And I think it's important to not get discouraged and go, wait a minute, like I can have 10 minutes to meditate. I can do 10 minutes. It won't be the greatest, but it's something. I can just sit there and do 50, 100 push-ups. I could do lunges. I could sprint 10 times in front of my yard for 20 minutes. It's something because it registers in your head that, that you are keeping structure. And some days you're going to get to do a full hour of it. And some days you're going to get to do 10 minutes of it. Yeah. Most people are like, well, it's all or nothing. It's the wrong attitude, man. Every brick that you build somewhere builds a wall. And we talked about this once prior. It's like small controlled gains, man. Like you're stacking momentum. You're building momentum daily. And it's your job to show up every day, whether you got 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, to keep showing up, to keep building your momentum. The momentum keeps your mindset, And that's kind of how I approach it every day. It's not easy, but I know that most people won't do it. And I know how I want to feel, so I do it. Yeah.
I love how you brought up as well that there are days that you don't do it, and there are days that people are going to just, things are going to come up, and acknowledging that, because I think a lot of people spruik this perfect routine or these perfect structures, and the goal is to get to that just consistently every single day without fail. But that's just not reality, and it is just getting to that mindset of maintaining consistency, which really means that, you know, get up every day with the intention, go to bed every day with the intention. But if shit comes up or something happens, well, then that's fine as well. And giving yourself that that flexibility to roll with the times and not be so attached to it as well. Because yeah, like I said, every single day that you do something, it compounds over and over. And one of the things I've really noticed, Enzo, is that so many people are going to these like healing retreats or getting modalities that they're going to be eliminating this and implementing that. And they're doing these sort of things that they think are going to change their life, which they really are game changers, don't get me wrong. But then they go from those experiences and keep on maintaining the same behavior that they had before that experience. Nothing changes on a day-to-day basis. And so they wonder why the long-term results don't actually change and why things still stay the same. And so I love that we're chatting about this, because they seem like the tiniest little things, but it's in those tiny things that make the biggest difference. And I'll give you a quote. It was Edwards Deming who went in and transformed the Japan into a superpower after the World War. He was the only human that was listed as one of the main one of the turning points in history in the 19th century. And he basically said that the first 15% of any process dictates about 90% of the results that you get. And so
micro into macro.
Your morning routine, or how you wake up in the morning and how you start the day.
Yes, it's a micro into macro.
Yeah, man, is what gets you the biggest results, no matter what you're doing.
Well, if you look at it in another sense, it's like
elaborate.
Well, you know, same thing with working out. You know, no matter how many trainers you have, no matter how many drugs, multivitamins, chefs you have, making everything up, all that stuff together, nobody can lift the weights but you. You're the only individual that can do it. You're the only person that can do it. And you should take that mindset and actually apply that to everything in your life. Like, you owe it to yourself, you know, to build your body. So you owe it to yourself to be primed every morning. You owe it to yourself with how you handle your relationships, with how you handle your job. So if I were to go on it, I would just say, like, the way I combat everything in life is just small controlled wins. You know, you want to transcend your area, and you want to look at it as compound, kind of like compound interest in the bank, or not even in the bank sucks, but compound value with money, compound value with emotion, compound value with mindset. And it's just something that has to be practiced every day, and you shouldn't look at it as all or nothing. I think it's for people that are tuning in now, it's the worst thing you possibly could do, because you have absolutely no control of what other people are going to do. You have no control of what the day is going to feel like. And most of the time, you don't have control. You don't really have control of your mind. If you ever sat there, there's no way. You can't tell yourself what to do. Thoughts just appear. If you ever sat there and meditating, sometimes it gets scary, because sometimes you're like, wow, I have absolutely no control of my mind. I can't turn things off. Thoughts keep coming and going. So there's a lot of stuff going on in your body that you can't even control. So rather than try to control everything, you know, try to prime it, try to observe it.
Like having a vagina, apparently.
I guess so. But you want.
Can you see the comments?
I can't see the comments. I don't see them on here right now. I can only.
So Charlotte said, "I love this." She said, "I love this. I truly do, but this ain't reality for some of us. Maybe because we got a vagina." So, well, first of all, Charlotte, if you got a question, like, more specifically, to sort of challenge it, and I'd be open and interested to hear it. But just on that, Enzo, what would you say to that?
I don't know how. I don't.
Even though she's just been a funny bitch, but at the same time,
I would tell her that maybe she has a calling in comedy, and what she should do is go find the next couple open mics and go enjoy herself and just see how she feels, you know. And that's it, you know. Maybe it's cool. I don't know how meditation and a vagina works together, but you know, maybe like it's like during intimacy, you got to keep your mind occupied sometimes, because maybe. You know, sometimes your partner, you're like,
I could incorporate them into the one.
Stop before I go down a horrible rabbit hole that I can't get out of. But I feel like I have these things. I call it, you know, accountability, actuality, and adjustability. And I feel like that is a big process for life. So, in order to meet your goals daily, in order to be successful and happy daily, and things like that, you have to understand that it's a constant process of being patient. It's a constant process of progression. And you owe it to yourself every day to get up. And the meditation is to focus, to make you realize who you are, what's going on. The diet is to regulate your mood. The training is to keep your endorphins up and your prime. You go out there. So now, you got the accountability of taking care of yourself. What can you change about yourself every day? It's important. The actuality of what your situation is like. Do you have a high stressful life? You got so many priorities that you put in there, this job, these kids, that wife, that husband, that dog, whatever. You have the responsibility of juggling things. So what's the actuality of things you're going to have to combat throughout the day? That's so important, trying to combat all that stuff. And then the adjustability is, okay, well, now we need to put some of these things under control. And that's when you decide to do a few things, you know what I mean? And I went through that probably about 5 weeks ago. It was horrifying for me. And I'm already 40 right now, and it just whacked me in the head all over again. And I had to do small things to change, to kind of get out of my situation. I was very stressed out. I was very stressed out in real estate, trying to pursue a second license. I had some bad blood in the office I worked at. Losing a couple friends because we don't have a lot in common anymore is very stressful to me. Pulled my back. It was like a lot of little things and that were like building up. And what I said was, just with everything, money situations, financial situations, I'm not even gonna go through the whole tier of it and everything. But the stress built so much that I started having anxiety. And I started having anxiety, like panic attacks. No joke, in 5 weeks. I've never had this in the history of my life. And it was so crippling. And I'm just sitting there and my mind felt like mania. I felt like, bah, 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 like things are going off. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna crack. I'm like, this is really bad. And I was like, what is going on? And I was like, yo, somebody just take me to the hospital. Seriously, get me the hell out of here. I need some pills or something to go to sleep. I am stressed the hell out. And it was the same day, and I'll forget it, that both front tires blew out in one day. So in addition to everything happening, now I got to get tires. So my tires blow out. The jack breaks when I'm trying to get the tires up. I have to walk down a block to get a spare. I come back with the spare. The spare doesn't fit. I have to call for help. It became a total nightmare. And I'm like, and I'm looking up and I'm like, you son of a gun, whatever. I'm like, this cannot be happening. It was more stress. And it's one of those things where I said to myself, I said, you know what your problem is? You don't know how to reset yourself in the middle of a storm. You don't know how to control yourself in the middle of a storm. And then that's when I said, well, what is the first thing that I can do? It's breathing. So then I went online and I discovered this little app. Sam Harris is a very famous neurologist, and he has Waking Up app, guided meditation. I started using it every day, 10 minutes a day. And I started being aware of like what's going on with myself, what's going on in my life. And I started looking at everything like, wow, like there's so many things that have to be fixed, or even adjusted. And I said, that's okay. And I started feeling like that's okay. So let's attack them one by one. And once you do that, you stop worrying about the big, the macro. You don't worry about the macro anymore, the big picture. You're about the micro. You worry about the little bit of it because that's what you can control. And as simple as that, all you have is your mind. It's all you have. Everything is in this 3-pound blob that just sits in here. That's it. So, and you don't want to lose your mind. You don't want to be stressed out. You want to be the best person you could be. So you should be priming yourself every morning. That's it. Even if you have, even if
100%. And it takes a long time.
Well, I don't think you ever really master it. It's like a painful memory in your life. Like it meant something when you were 4. It changes the way what it means to you when you're 5. It changes when you're 10, when you're 20. Like everything that we're hardwired to become, or hardwired that we are, nothing ever goes away. It just becomes a different meaning that you interpret. So it's like with your stress and your struggles, it's like you're gonna have to approach it a little bit differently every day. You may need a few more minutes of breathing. You may need to change your workout in the gym to break the plateau. You may need to cut off some relationships as you go. But I call it's like purifying the water. And I have another technique, besides, taking accountability, looking at your actuality and doing the adjustability to get through it. Another technique to have is add, remove, and filter. And it's like, you got your cup, your cup of water here is you, your soul, your mind, your goals. And what happens is every day you have to look at stuff in your life and other people's lives, or not other people's life, but people around you, and remove things. Like, I don't need that friend. I don't want this job. I don't want to do these habits anymore. So every day you remove stuff, and then every day you add stuff you need to give you strength. You find a better job. You form better relationships to give you more moral support. You change your
100%.
health routines to have support. So you're removing, you're adding, and then you have to filter because the world's going to come at you different every day to distract you. And once you're removing, adding, and filtering, you eventually will purify your drink. You eventually purify your mind, purify your soul. So it is like I always said, my acronym.
That's so
It's
cool.
kind of what it is. Thank you. But it's what I always said, what life is, the acronym LIFE. And if you broke it down, it's living in frequent evolution. Nothing in nature has ever stayed. Nothing. So why the hell should you stay? Like, it's okay. Like, get in the ring and get hit. Like a boxer.
Yeah.
Look like this, man. Like a boxer wins.
You can't, even if you wanted to.
You can't. I
There's
mean,
no choice in it.
no, it's going to come at you every day. I mean, people are healthy 40, 50, 60 years. That's, you know, at 65, you know, you see this all the time. And even I worked in a nursing home for a while. You see this all the time. Everybody's okay. They're hunky-dory. All of a sudden, you know, somebody, you know, had a stroke or something. 5 hours later, they're dead. You're like, well, how the hell did this happen all in one shot? Like, things come at you when they want to. You can't control half of this shit in the world. All you can really do is accept it, observe it, and start adjusting to combat it a little bit. It's like being a boxer. You want to win the match, right? You want to win the match. You're going to get hit. You're going to run the risk of being embarrassed. You're going to run the risk of being knocked out, bleeding, something. But you have to get through that to understand how to adjust to it, to better yourself, to better everything. You know, you win when you're in the war. And I think that's just a way of doing it. A lot of people are like, oh, there's no hope. Like the vagina girl on here, whoever that is. Oh, I have a vagina. I don't know if that's like a trying to be funny or whatever, but I say like this to anybody, like, listen, you know, sir, listen, honey, real talk. Until you take accountability towards something, you deserve everything that you're getting. You deserve all of it, one bit. Plenty of people out there that are Buddhist monks that found peace sitting in the mountains underneath a tree with nothing going on. You don't need all, you know, I don't know what you deem as valuable, but, you know, resort back to finding yourself. Focus on your breathing. Let your breathing, you know, be your mentor. Meditate. Big deal, man.
Yeah, it's huge. So to conclude and fill in if I miss anything as well, is really to really achieve that self-mastery and mastering your own mindset as well. It really, the biggest impact that you're going to have is, no, Charlotte, don't worry about that. The biggest impact that you're going to have is by starting small, starting on the seemingly smaller parts of life, the things that you can control, doing them consistently, and then just continuously building on them just bit by bit. And it's not necessarily about the macro, but bringing it back down to size and starting with the things that you can control, your thought patterns, your breathing, your exercise, the way you spend your time. And to touch on what Charlotte said as well, and she was just joking about being a mum, and because fucking mums always come up with excuse like they've got no fucking time. They love it. And I'm sure that'll trigger a few of them. But essentially that's what they're doing. Like they're being mums. So to start mastering their own mindset is to, like you said, just figuring out where they're at and understanding that, and that they can be the best mum in the world every single day. And so it's just about putting their best foot forwards and mastering that self-talk and the little things that come up and managing it with their breath and with the things like meditation.
I mean, it's like anything. Once you have like a big family and you know, in these situations, you have to kind of structure relationships, you know, your time, your respecting relationship, how you want it to be. You know, like parents that don't have control of their kids go through a war every day. They go through a big war every day. So with everything, but parents that actually learn to socialize,
which they've chosen to do.
Parents that learn to civilize and socialize, and, you know, give the kids morals and values and get the kids to act civilized, their days are a lot more gifted than parents that don't have any control. So you have to adjust that part of your life, and it's kind of what it is. And I think people get overwhelmed. I mean, look, humans are not multitaskers at all, not even by nature. Science has proven it. So it's hard, man. It's really hard. And no one said it's supposed to be easy, but what you should do is stop looking at it as a win and look at it as a journey, man. You know, you're going down a road that is less traveled. It's a good thing. You know, and you have all the power in the world. You know, you just start off with your health, your mindset. You know, you remove a couple things and filter a couple things in your life, and you adjust a couple things. And it's a process. Everything starts with the micro. You know, a seed becomes a tree. You know, a simple plank board or whatever can become a fence in a house. Like, stop trying to win the whole thing. You shouldn't be trying to win the whole thing. You should be just moving. It's all about momentum. It's about keeping your momentum going. That's what it's about. Fall in love with momentum, and I think you'll be a lot more happier. I don't think the answer is falling in love, which is a state of being.
Progress equals happiness.
I can't see any of your comments. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Can only imagine.
They're loving you, bro. They're loving you. They're throwing roses at your feet. I can
There's
see.
what? There's what? Oh man, but
They're throwing
good.
roses at our
I like
feet.
roses. So, but that's about it, man. I mean, I think all of us in here will go through many, many battles in life, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing to be embarrassed about it, and you're never trapped. You know, you're one phone call away, you know, from a new job. You're one decision to go to the gym away from starting your fitness.
Yeah.
You know, you're $1 away from starting to compound and have wealth. You know, you're one conversation, you know, away from, you know, from having the right people in your life. And I always tell people all the time, I have like an analogy with fire. I go, look at fire. Fire is really beautiful. It's really warm. It's something you want to sit around, be around, right? But what's the property of fire? If you touch it, it's going to burn you. So it's not for you. So you have to look like that as people in your life, even as your habits and everything. Like some things in life are just not for you. And you have to learn to just accept them where they are and stay away from them.
Until you learn to use them.
If you can learn to use them resourcefully. Correct. And I think a lot of people don't give themselves enough effort. Like they don't know. They never tried. Just you know, like Les Brown used to say, the wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard. Most people go there never knowing what they could have been or what they could have done. It's a big aspect. So I get up every morning, whether my days are good or bad, whether I'm stressed out or not. And I go, and I always know, I can control this. I can change this in a second. I can do a quick 10-minute meditation on the side of the room. I could bust out a bunch of push-ups and start building up my endorphins. I could change what I eat now that will affect my mood later because I'll do it immediately. And I can just tell people, like, listen, like, we're over in our life. I don't think we really have much more in common. I can really just chop people down and move forward. It's all about keeping the magic of your happiness and your momentum going. And everybody can do it if they just do it. Just do it, you know, and that's it. Optimism.
I think for me, Enzo, with that, what really helps is when I got taught and told by a mentor of mine that I actually choose everything. I get to choose how I feel. I get to choose how I think and what I think about. I get to choose where I go and what I do. And so now, if there's anything that comes up that I don't like, I just basically get the choice to either keep it or transform it and turn it into something else and think something else or feel something else about it. And something that does help is being able to understand yourself enough to know how to do that effectively for yourself. So a part of that self-mastery is really being in tune and being able to self-assess and really understand yourself so that you know how to get the best from yourself in every moment. But at its really fundamental level is really just having that choice, like, and really knowing that you choosing this, like you're choosing to feel shit right now, or you're choosing to be stressed out by this, or you're choosing to give a fuck about that thing that is really neither here nor there. And you get the choice to think something else and feel something else about those moments as well.
And a lot of people are in bad situations, and like, what's easy for you to say, I have to work 80 hours a week and I've got kids and I got babysitters and my health and I have one leg, and there's so many things that people will say. So many things that people say. But the reality is you're not dead. That's number one. You're not dead. And chances are this is the only life you got. And I always say that. So what you should be doing is being a fighter and
we got plenty of lives. Sorry about that.
What you should be doing is being a fighter to kind of go through things on that level. And that's what I say. And just to recap on that, it's okay to let things go that are not good in your life. You know, like if they're firing, they're burning you and they're not resourceful to you, let them go. But you owe it to yourself, literally, to be accountable for who you are. And most people don't know who they are. Like, I like to look at it like, you know, if you're able to pull yourself out of your body, looking at you, would you have chose that name, that life, this culture, this religion, this job? Would you really be doing it this way? And most people never step out of their path to actually go, Christ, I don't want to do this thing anymore. This is the wrong way. Like, you owe it to yourself to be very mindful of who you are. And I think it's something that a lot of the Buddhists have mastered. And it's very hard for me to master that, to try to really get in touch with yourself. It's a tough thing, but like, how much do you know of yourself? If you, so does Divine, is that song from the 80s? She touches. I know. So the whole thing is like, the minute you get to that point, things will change for you. Be mindful of who you are. You're a maverick, you know?
Yeah.
It's a big aspect of it. But it's a journey, Matt, and it will always be a journey every day. It's not a win. It's momentum. It's not a monument. It's a momentum. Everybody.
It's game, man. It's game to be played and to have fun with. Yeah, like you said, that journey. the journey to be played with and to enjoy.
Not, like I said, I'll say it again. It's not a monument. You're not after a trophy. You're after the momentum. That's what it is.
I fucking love that. There's a few people are saying I'm taking that. I'm stealing that, saying I'm gonna fall in love with momentum. So I think that's the quote of the day. We're gonna fall in love with momentum, and just keep basically doing that and building that. And that's, I told you before jumping on, like what I'm really trying to do is get a better evening routine and morning routine going as well.
Start small.
Getting that first 15% of my day just exactly
small.
on point.
When I got myself back on track, I started meditating in the morning. I stopped looking at my phone maybe 20, 30 minutes before I went to bed. Literally, I laid in silence until my body said go to bed.
Yeah.
I literally started just, detaching myself from things, and it works. It really works. It's a small little adjustments, and everybody's different, but until you really take responsibility, you deserve the shitty garden that you live in. It's your fault. Because somebody can always Google a case study of somebody that has everything worse than you and more on their plate, and they're beating you, and then you can then tell me something. So that's the point. Reality, man. I know what life is. So I don't. Everybody should just. It's so true, though, right? So I like what I like everybody on here to do is go on your iPhone app and download Sam Harris's waking up, his guided meditation. It's like 10 minutes a day. Literally, it's so easy. And then give yourself like a 20-minute workout regimen for now. Start small.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's a big part of it, man. It's a big part of it. So.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm putting together some programs specifically for this as well, to start helping people with actually implementing the tiny little shifts and changes that they're going to create habits and implement into their lifestyle to make those bigger changes in the end, but starting really small. So I'm really looking forward to doing a bit more research on this and speaking to more people and chatting further about this, but really looking forward to start working with people on this, because it's where I'm at the moment is really wanting to implement really strong habits and starting small, and then sharing that with others so they can do the same, because I feel that's a massive gap for people at the moment. Everyone knows the things, everyone knows the bits and the pieces and the quotes and the this and the stuff, but at the end of the day, there's too many people not actually implementing it and not doing the stuff. So I'm really just wanting everyone, again, like you said, just start small, download Sam Harris's app and start just taking 10 minutes a day to meditate, set the alarm half an hour earlier, do the little things. I went for a fucking huge walk today. Don't do that. I went for a 25-kilometer walk. Go for maybe a block walk, something. I'm knackered.
Do you remember what I told you? Do you remember what I told you? Remember what you said?
Anyway,
you said a lot of people, the books, the quotes, everything's out there, the momentum videos, and it doesn't work. People go to these rituals, like the Tony Robbins rituals for 5 days, and they're over there with Tony screaming at the sky for 5 days, and they come back and they're back to normal. Remember the quote I told you? I wrote a quote years ago, and I shared it last time, one of our last talks. I said, wisdom is free because mankind cannot buy the discipline to follow it. And that's a big problem. And then until people take, accountability for that, you deserve it to yourself. People are lazy.
Say it again.
Wisdom is free because mankind cannot buy the discipline to follow it. And what you should be doing every day is taking your accountability. Well, I will drop mics all day. Taking the accountability of what your situation is, the actuality of what it's going to take to change, and then the adjustability, which is necessary actions day by day. Every day you get up, you filter stuff you don't need out of your life, you add stuff you need in your life, and then you and then you remove stuff you don't need until you're purified with the water. It's not about the monument, fuck the trophy. It's about keeping your momentum going, and everything affects that shit. Everything. So put everything around you in order, including yourself. It's like Jordan Peterson will tell you, make your bed every day. It's a symbol of, like, if you can't take responsibility for something that's small, you're not going to stand up straight. So anybody out there going through shit, cut the shit already and just at least fucking try. Just fucking try. See what happens. That's what I would say. Yeah, buddy.
Done. That's a good note to end on, brother. I love it, and thanks for jumping on and sharing. It's been a long time coming. It's been a while. Wanting to do this for the last couple of months. So,
everybody's running around, but we make it happen, and it's 9. No, what time is it over there right now? What time is it over there where you're at?
Yeah,
9:30 p.m. over there, and 7:30 a.m. over here. So if we can get up at crazy hours, you guys could fucking do something. Swear to God. So stop the bullshit, right? That's it.
No more
Yeah.
excuses.
If anybody out there has any questions, man.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Anybody has
tuning
any
in.
questions, man? Message Maddie. He's good at what he does.
Yeah.
Message me. I'm kind of okay, and we'll help you get through stuff. Thanks, guys. Take care, buddy. Later, Matt. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, guys. Peace out.